So next up, we've got some big news from Lightning Rod. So this was like equally very surprising, but also not surprising. I think it was just like, it just came out of nowhere.
What makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Dollywood released a video explaining that after the main park season, they will be closing Lightning Rod.
30th of October, I think.
And changing the LSM launch, well, the LSM launch lift into a high-speed chain lift. And they're saying that this will alleviate some of the downtime. And I think
13 mile an hour or something, they said in the video.
13 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm not like...
that is the same lift speed as Intimidator 305.
What's the launch speed on it at the moment?
45, I think it is.
Oh, so it's going to be a noticeable difference then.
But
when it
slow
releases you, though, it slows down
at the top.
It won't. Yeah, that's what I mean. It won't affect. All it will affect is the lift hill experience. So you will notice a difference. But do I think it's that balance, isn't it? Because when I was there, I saw it firsthand. Like it went down. We watched it get stuck on the lift hill with guest, reverse back down, had to reverse the other train out of the station so that could go back in the station, get the guests off, then keep attempting to fire it up. And then eventually we got on it. They then was looking at it and was like, no, sorry, you got to get off. So we had to be sat down. They literally put our restraints down and everything. It was like, right, ready to go. No, sorry, you gotta get off. So we was just like, okay, get off. And it was like, you could see it on the ride host's face that this was just like the
pissing them off.
Like, but it's not. They weren't even pissed off. That was the noticeable different. No, they was just like smiling and just like, yeah, like this is the completely normal, like a daily occurrence. And it was like that all day. It was just up and down all day. And luckily we got a few rides in it, but. I
suppose if this is going to increase reliability, then it's a no-brainer at the end of the day, really, isn't it? I mean, I know it's going to be a completely different experience. From an enthusiast point of view, I suppose if you've never been, like myself, I'd be slightly gutted that I never got to experience it. But if it means that I'm going to travel all the way to America and have like a 90% chance of getting on it, rather than a 10% chance of getting on it, then it's a win-win, is it not?
Yeah, I think it's just short-sighted. Like the people who complain about this, I think it's a little bit short-sightedness, right? Because at the end of the day, like some people are moaning about this, but like they even say in the video themselves, like they tried to innovate. Sometimes it doesn't work, right? They tried something and they've tried their hardest. Like they replaced it from Topper to iBox. Obviously that hasn't worked. And I mean, I think the reason is they need new trains, and the new trains, they're like, well, we may as well just get rid of the LSM.
Which it will be getting.
Well, they already know that. They announced it in the video. But I think they knew that we're getting new trains. So they looked at like, what else can we change? Or just something about the trains where LSMs probably wouldn't have worked as well. Or I don't know, something like that. But
if they're taking the opportunity to put new trains on it, what I hope is that they give it Gen 2 trains. Because they maintain speed. I mean, so much, like it's night and day. Between the Generation 2 RMC trains and the Legacy trains, what Lightning Rod runs currently, the ability to hold speed and hold and keep momentum.
So what coasters already has Generation 2 trains?
Which ones have you? So like like Goliath at Six Flags Great America, the majority of the smaller ones, Wicked Cyclone, Storm Chaser, Outlaw Run, Lightning Rod. They all have the legacy trains, which, like, if you notice, like the wheel assemblies, it runs one road wheel, and then obviously the other upstop wheels and the guide wheels and stuff like that. Yeah. The Gen 2 trains, like on Untamed or Ironguazi, Zadra, etc., they have 2 road wheels in the wheel assembly, and they're much bigger. and I think that like they have a wheel compound on them. It's it's either polyurethane or nylon. I don't know which. I don't know what the wheel compound is.
Does Twisted Timbers have legacy trains? Or
it does. Yeah, it does. Because it has the big swing axle at the front, and it's able to articulate transitions more.
Do you know what? I don't know if this is the same as all legacy trains, but with Twisted Timbers, that probably would have been the only legacy train I've done on RMC, and the underside of the seat was like sharp. So when you got shorts on, like, you know, like when you got where your calves are, they're like getting scratched up. It's really weird.
Shit.
And we all come off the train going like, oh, we've got scratches in the back of my leg from like
on Twisted Timbers.
Yeah, like, you know, like the underside of the seat, like it's just like a sharp edge. I don't know if that's the same with all of them, but like me and Gemma come off like with scratches in the back.
Did you feel that on Untamed? Because Untamed has the same trains.
No, I can't. Well, that's the first one I ever did, so I don't. And that was 2019, so it's hard to compare because I wouldn't have known. There would have been 2 years difference between doing like a legacy and a Gen 2 train, so I wouldn't have known. But I didn't really feel like Lightning Rod was any different train wise, restraint wise, or anything, or like ride wise. To be honest,
it's not different. It's in the train chassis.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I didn't feel like it was rougher or slower or anything. It just felt the same as any other RMC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lightning Rod's a different case given.
It is, to be honest, because it's not your typical RMC.
It's designed for speed. Yeah. But anyway, like I just think the reason why I really hope it gets Gen 2 trains is because just because of the fact that, not necessarily the fact that it's getting a lift, like a chain lift, like refitted onto it, but the fact that they're advertising it as a high speed chain lift that it runs at 13 miles per hour. And I'm also kind of wondering what speed does Tornado back and high speed chain lift that apparently feels like a launch. What speed does that run at? But it's like, apparently the 13 mile an hour speed was chosen because when, like, with the launch at the moment, the speed that the train goes, like, because obviously the LSMs don't go all the way up to the top of the launch track at the moment, and it slows down a whole lot. And apparently the train goes over the top at around the same speed at the moment. So they were aiming for a chain lift speed that will get it over at the same.
It feels really
at the same speed. So none of the rest of the
we get it. Is effective. We like. It just feels really dumb. Like when I was on it, like I loved the lift, like I loved the launch up it, but the fact that it stops just before you get over the crest of the hill just feels like silly. Like you're just like, why are we stopping? Like I understand the technical reason behind it. Don't get me wrong, but like you just like you go up, you're like wait, and you're just like and then you're just like exactly. So what is the point?
so when I wrote it in 2019, like the launch was cool, but it wasn't my favorite part. It wasn't my favorite part of the ride.
It wasn't.
The whole second half. The whole second half was much more memorable to me than the launch was. So, like, if they can do that to make it more, reliable in terms of uptime, then that's great. And if they also put Gen 2 trains on there that can hold speed better, then it has much more of a chance of being able to deliver not necessarily an experience that was as good as it was in 2016, 2017, and 2019, but still, a best ride in the park experience.
Yeah. So according to themeparkblogger.com, it says 40 kilometers per hour is the Tornado speed, the lift hill, which is 24.8 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, that's a fair way faster.
That is fast.
That is a launch.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that, sorry, go on, Mikhail. I'm just glad that, like, I mean, I just think that, like, the fact that it's stopped just before you get over the crest of the hill just feels like a launch. Like, you just like exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Mikhail.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, like with that lift chain lift being so fast, I'm thinking about like who are they gonna get to, provide that chain lift? Like they obviously have to make sure the lift motor is strong enough to be able to, shoot that lift and a much bigger train, by the way. all the way up there. So like, I hope they don't make them. I hope they go with a refutable company for it.
Yeah, I've done it before.
What was you going to say, Emma?
Instead of going with a prototype.
Go on, Emma.
No, it was nothing important. It's just an opinion.
Well, fucking move on then. All right, no, all right.
Never mind.
Go.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just glad from an enthusiast point of view. Then again, lightning rod's iconic, right? When you think of Dollywood, lightning rod's been right there at the top of my bucket list for a long time, regardless of whether it launched over the top or not. It's just one of them iconic coasters. And I'm just glad that they've put thought into the fact that they were like, this coaster has been problematic since day one. Like, it's been a pain in their arse, let's be honest. So I'm just glad that they've put proper thought into it and was like, we need to keep this coaster. They do need to keep that coaster at the end of the day. It's not the kind of coaster that they could just sack off because it'd be a huge mistake. I'm just glad that they have put proper thought into the fact that it's like, okay, we're keeping it. It's not working how it's working. We can't go on like this. So that, to me, it just seems like the obvious thing to do. Like I said before, from an enthusiast point of view, some people are bitching and going, oh, it's not the same. Well, would you rather them just pull it down at the end of the day? Okay, it might not be as fast up the lift hill, but it's going to go the same speed over the top. So what the fuck are you moaning for? I'm well up for this. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And I love the fact that they've admitted it. Not many parks do that, They don't admit the mistakes. As well. I'm so happy that they've done it in that way as well. The way they did it was we tried it, didn't work, so we're going to try this. So hopefully this works for everyone. So